what it allows you to do is to run, what would you call it, like errands for people, and then when you're doing that errand, you can have people pay you to do stuff. So as you can see, it looks like a little iPad. It's pretty cool actually. There's a little iPad in the corner, and you can sort of minimise that. And today we're going to be running an errand. It says, if you look here, transport some flat irons. What's that? Like a, I don't know if that's a, I don't know what is flat iron. Anyway, we're going to be transporting some flat irons from Mount Cook in New Zealand to Queenstown in New Zealand. Or I could have done this one, just get some women's suits from Queenstown to New Zealand to Napier. So we're going from Mount Cook, actually we're going from Mount Cook to Queenstown, so the other way around, heading, let's face this way. So anyway, let's have a little look. So I'm going to start the simulator. So the first thing I need to do is go back. I'm going to go back to welcome. We're going to go to the world map, and what we're going to do is add this in. So we're going to start. We're going to start at Mount Cook, which is one of these ones here. Let's put it all to no. Where's Mount Cook? There it is, Mount Cook. So we're going to set Mount Cook as our departure, and then we're going to match this. What we need to do here, we're going to put into here. And so that is down here, Queenstown. And we're going to set that as our arrival. So it's a 46-minute flight. I'm going to change it. So what you can do is change it here. So instead of it being direct GPS, you can actually go low altitude airways. And what this will do is make a complete flight plan all the way along. So it's going to take us an hour to get there, but that will give us 251 smackaroos. So it's 96 nautical miles. We're going to have a little look at the rugged New Zealand landscape, see if we can see some hobbits. Yeah, and then we're going to have a little look. So let's have a look. Just going to check all this out. Blah blah blah. It's direct, arrival, approach, automatic. You can actually change this. No, I'm just going to go automatic. Alright, so we'll push the flight button. So when you're ready, you request that this is the job you want to take, and then they'll give it to you. Let's just do it now. So I'm going to request that. So we're ready to go. Here's what needs to be done right now. We need to load flat irons. What the hell is a flat iron? Is it just metal, or is it something else? Alright, next tip, pick up flat irons. Okay, so we're going to be ready to fly. Wow, this is a bit of a desolate place. I thought there might be a little bit more to Mount Cook than this. At least a coffee shop. Okay, so I've got my little map on here, and we're going to head out over Lake Pukaki. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, so Lake Pukaki. We'll head out from there. I'll do a 180. I might actually just do a 180, go on the bottom, turn around now. So let's go ready to fly. So what we need to do first of all is have a look in the boot, and you can't see, but behind the seats is where I'm going to store all the flat irons. So with the SkyPark app ready to go, you just say, okay, I'm going to load the irons. So that sound there is all the irons being put into the boot. I hope they're not too heavy, they're going to be able to take off. And then you just go to plan flight. So you see the route we need to take. So we picked up the iron, we've been at Mount Cook, we started at Mount Cook, we picked up the flat irons, and now we're just going to go down to Queenstown, and that's on the southwest down here, fly all the way. So you just push fly, and that's it. So what I might do while this is happening is not showcase that thing. If I can switch it off, let me see if I can turn the, let's have a look. No, you know, I'll just leave it on for the moment. Let's leave it on. Alright, okay, so let's head out. We will take off the brakes. Start heading out. Ooh, I'll stop watching. That was a bit silly. I literally stopped watching the screen. Alright, so once we get up, oh my god, this is a good start, isn't it? The irons are really heavy. I'm just going to lift off here. Okay, Okay, we're going to do a quick 180. Try and get up above the mountains. Maybe. What a desolate little airport that is. Nothing happening. Couldn't even get decent coffee. So let's have a look. So once I've straightened up here, we are going to need to go over these mountains. Could be a big arch trying to climb up over there. Try and get a little bit of speed up and a bit of height. Okay. What the hell? Trim shot. I'm also going to put on some live chatter. That's always good fun. So bear with me while I chatter, switch it on, fingers crossed it should find the nearest airport. Here we go, and you'll get some live chatter. We're going to make sure that's it. Okay, so we're good to go. So we need to head over the mountains. I think we're probably going to bypass Lake Bukaki and try and make a little beeline over the mountains. Pretty stunning location. So over on the SkyPark, you can see we're completely going the wrong way, and I'll zoom out. I really don't want to try and go over the hills until we've got a nice altitude. So we'll start swinging back now, getting up high enough now. So all that's plugged in. Let's have a look. We're going. Okay. All right. Let's do it. We've got enough height now. So judging by this, and just move this out of the way. So we're at 5,000. That should be enough. And it tells you the height that you need to be, or the highest point you need to be. So we're already at that now. The highest point I think is 5,000. I'm not sure actually. If you manage or you get info, sometimes it tells you how high. Highest obstacle 7,200. So we could very well smash into something here if we don't get a little bit higher. So the highest point in this trip, just under 7,500, and we're at 5 now. So it looks like at some point down here there's going to be some bigger mountain. It's telling us now to get up a bit. So what I really like about this is it tells you here on the thingy what you could go for. So it's like you can do it in a helicopter, which is ironic because there are no helicopters. You can do it with a piston. You've got a turboprop feasible with a business jet, but definitely don't try it with a narrow body or a wide body. So we've gone with a piston aircraft, which is recommended. So here, once you get to this point, you can start to see, it shows you Mount Cook, where we started, which is literally probably the most barren airport on the planet, to where we're going now. So we've picked up our flat irons. We get a bit of turbulence as we head over these mountains. But the Queenstown airport, which looks like a nice airport, and I'm sure we're going to be getting a cup of coffee down there. There's a look, elevation, yeah, and I'm just going to drop off the flat irons completely, so you can see my current karma. This is because I've only ever taken things like flat irons, sewing machines for old ladies groups, very, very nice stuff. Now you can later on start shifting some really dodgy dark web stuff, and you can either choose to switch that on or switch it off, but I've gone with having it. No one's ever offered me a dodgy job yet. what's cool is that they've got a little thing happening at the moment. This is still in development, right? So it's not 100% fully finished. But I like it. They've got like a COVID delivering COVID vaccines around the world, and that's pretty cool. They're trying to log up as many hours as they can. Okay, I'm just going to make sure that I don't stack it because this is a pretty high mountain. I'm going to dial this back so I can see out. So we've got enough speed. Alright, so we're actually at 7,500 now. That might be the highest point, which we're just passing now. And I'll assume that that looks to be as high as it gets. And we've managed to not crash into it, so that's always a positive. So 7,500 we can start now, not worrying. Such an amazing landscape. So if you've just joined us, we're heading off down to Queenstown in the Pipistrelle, as you can see here, and we are carrying flat iron, which I'm assuming is just metal, and we're going to be taking that from where we've just come from to Queenstown in New Zealand. Pretty amazing scenery. So we're at 7,500 feet. I'm juggling the iPad, the SkyPark app, the stream at the same time. I'm just going to check back and see if anybody said hello. If anybody's watching, no, that's cool. Alright, so we're at highest point now. So I'm going to head back to the map. There we go. It does look low that part over there probably is even a little bit higher than where we were before. I'm going to try and go back online, of course. At this height there's a little bit of turbulence. So a couple of the mods we've got switched on. So I'm just going to look at my navigation equipment. This is the Garmin 1000. I'm now going to, should I leave that off? I'm going to leave it on. I'm going to leave it on for a second. I might switch on the autopilot. And I don't really, I was watching a video earlier on how to do this. I'm still learning how to use the Garmin. But it looks like here it just tells you so where we're going. These are all the waypoints and it's showing you which direction to go into and at what height you should be. So obviously we're going to go over the mountains. Let's start heading down. As we get down a bit lower, so this flight plan is active. Let's have a look outside. So I think if you look at SkyPark, we've got along the bottom it shows you where it says NZMC, which was New Zealand Mount Cook. Really, as we're coming now, is the second highest peak, and then it's sort of like a low trajectory down, so it's not going to get much higher than this. Nice little valley all the way down. So we're being told to explode downwards, but I'm not going to listen to that because there's no other traffic. As far as I don't think I've added any other traffic on. So it's all switched off, so it's plain sailing all the way in. Wow, so amazing. I'm going to dial the throttle back as well. So I'm looking at the temperature, I don't think that's even working. So we're actually at 9,000 feet, so we're pretty high considering the highest peak that we're likely to come across is at 7,000. Although the actual, that might be sea level. So ground level is at 7,000. Okay, alright, so we're not as high as I thought I was. Yeah, some view. What a beautiful part of the world. What you're going to see as well is because the streaming of the graphics is loading in real time, you'll tend to see stuff happening and sort of, it looks like the landscape's moving, and what's happening is Bing data is actually downloading into the simulator and loading in all the scenery you can see. And at this height you don't really get much of a seat difference, but lower down you start to see things popping, little mountains appearing, and it looks a bit weird. But at this height it's not too bad. I'm going to make it a bit more interesting. I'm going to come down a little bit so you get a nice view. This is probably not the done thing, so I'm going to come down. I've got my eye on the speed gauge. We're in knots, so we're doing 120. You really don't want to start creeping into the red zone because the whole thing will fall apart. So I'm going to drop down to about 5,000. I want to do a gentle descent. I don't want to start hammering it down. Being conscious that we could actually just stack it to the side of the mountain. But just to make it a bit more interesting, I'm going to come down. I'm going to hopefully climb up again. Keep it in the green. Okay, just checking that everything's still working. I've always got this. I've got this little twist switch to the left and to the right, but it's always upside down. So we've got 40 minutes before we get to Queenstown. Okay, we should be at 7,000, so I'll do as I'm told. I don't get into trouble. So have a little look where we are. We're actually at 6,300 and descending, so I'm going to get back up. Now, there is a way, and I'm not very good at it, because I don't really get how this works, so you can change the heading of things. Let's see, I'm just going to leave it. Alright, so we come down a bit lower so you can see the mountains on the other side. Beautiful countryside. So I'm looking at the map. We're actually, this is Hopkins Valley. And what you can see, that lake in front of us is Lake Ohau, O-H-A-U. Ohau? I'm not quite sure. I don't want to butcher the language, but yeah, that's that lake there you can see in front of us. And the lake that we saw when we took off from Cook was Lake Pukaki. That's on the left-hand side behind this ridge. And we're heading. Let me turn that off. Show you where we're going. We're going south-west down to Queenstown. Yeah, and we're in a Pipistrelle. I think it's called a Pipistrelle. Yeah, the Pipistrelle. It's a sweet plane to fly, I have to say. That's not me, by the way. There's me on the other side. I was quite pleased actually because it does look a little bit like us. That's I call her Bob. That's Bob. She's full of good advice, like not hitting the mountain. So I know we're sort of off course, but I wanted to show you. I'm going to zoom out. Could have got on the other side of that actually, just looking at the SkyPark. So if anybody just joined us, we are transporting flat irons, which Bob reckons is just metal. And with that flat irons, we're taking them down to Queenstown to sell them, and then we will get money. We're using SkyPark, which is an add-on. You can get it from Orbix, and it sort of just gives you a reason for flying around. You choose where you want to go, what you want to transport, good or bad. So you could be a bit of an evil boy or girl and take dodgy stuff. But all I get told to do is take things like sewing machines to pensioner groups and that sort of stuff. So my karma, if you go back to manage, you can have a little look. We scroll all the way down. My karma is quite high, 9.9. Okay, I'm dropping way down below. So the air traffic controller getting a bit antsy. So I should be at 7 for safety reasons. But you can see here, so we're going to get the payout. Once we've dropped off the irons at Queenstown, we get the payout of $251, which seems like not a lot of money considering how far we're going. Highest obstacle, 7,200 feet, which was the mountain we've just passed. Well, actually, it's the mountain to my right, which I'm going to be heading back over again now. So I am going to have to expedite up to 7,000 feet just to not crack into the mountain. Yeah, and so this is it. So it's SkyPark. I like it. It's good. It's just adds another dimension. All right. So let's have a look if there's any info we can see. No, it's just telling us the same stuff. It's pretty cool because what I like about it is it looks like an iPad. So it's almost like you've got the iPad with you in the cockpit. You can do something. You can turn off the topography, but at a place like this, you probably need it because it's showing you where the mountains are. You can turn it into 3D. So that's pretty cool, and it's showing you there the runways as we come into Queenstown. We can runway 23, runway 14, 5, 32, whichever our approach is going to be. And yeah, so you can sort of, what does that do? I'm not quite sure what that does. But anyway, alright, I'm not going to take my eyes off too much. I'm going to come back and see where we go. What a beautiful lake. I would imagine it's really cold. Lake how do you say that? Ohau? I'm guessing that's Lake Ohau. That would make sense. I don't know how else you'd say it. O-H-A-U. So if you're, if there are any viewers, I can't actually tell if we've got any viewers because I'm not really checking on the stream. So if you are watching, or if anybody's watching, please say hi in the comments, give us a like or a subscribe. I'm not looking to do anything other than just entertain people with nice scenery, leisurely flights at a time when we can't really go anywhere, can't do anything, can't fly anywhere really. So yeah, so these virtual flights are just quite a nice way to have a look around and see places that you wouldn't normally see. I love it. I've got to be honest with you, I think Microsoft Flight Simulator is brilliant, and everybody bags it out. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people bag it out saying, oh, it's got a lot of bugs. It has got a lot of bugs, but let's be honest, look at it. It's just beautiful. I mean, it's such a cool piece of kit. I love it. So yeah, so heading to Queenstown with our flat iron. If anybody knows what flat iron is, we've got a whole bunch of it in the boot. Please in the comments let me know what flat iron is. I'm hoping it's not a dodgy thing and I've actually done the right thing and I'm taking it. So we're taking flat iron down to Queenstown and we're going to get paid. So we're using SkyPark, the app, and I'm going to get 240 SkyPark bucks by delivering this to Queenstown Airport. Okay, I'm going to head back to the simulator because I've got a lot of stuff cluttered up. Oh hi, 2 viewers. Hello, whoever you are. Say hi in the chat. Just give me a nod to let me know you're here, who it is. And yeah, if you've got any questions, I can answer them. Give us a like, give us a follow. Just push that like button, push the subscribe button if you can. Even just to see if it's working, there's a like button I think underneath and you get your little name up in lights. How cool would that be? Alright, I'm going to head back to the simulator, so if you want to say something, just give us a like or a chat. Alright, so we're heading back up to 7,000 feet. Like I said, if you look at the flight plan on the left, on the right hand side, you can see just where we are now in purple. That's how long into the flight we are and then how long we've got left. So we're just at the point where if I come out and I zoom out, we should be just high enough to miss all the mountains. And we are by miles. I'm going to head back over this ridge. We're actually heading towards Conservation Park. Ahuriri? Ahuriri. I can't say it. But this is a conservation park. Then we're actually going to go into the Hunter Valley. Not the Hunter Valley in Australia, the Hunter Valley in New Zealand. Wow, someone lives there. Check it out. It's like someone's house right on the edge of that mountain. Jesus, how desolate must that be? Imagine how remote that is. And there's like a lake as well. Or was that someone's swimming pool? Now, that's pretty insane. That's actually... That looks like a dam or a reservoir. Whatever it is, it's got a building by it. So I'm going to check I'm not going to hit that mountain. But yeah. Alright, so we're going to clear this mountain. and head into the next valley, which is actually a conservation park. I'm going to drop down now, and air traffic control will tell me to get back up again, but I think the scenery would be a bit better between the mountains, be a bit more interesting to fly down. I'm going to just check that I'm not yep, here we go. I don't want to overspeed it, so I'm going to gradually descend as opposed to just hammering down. So after 160, the wings will fall off. You'll thank me in the long run. If you're hearing the real world chatter in the background, that's the bog standard stuff. Yeah, I know. Yeah. In a minute. What you're hearing is ATC chatter, which is a little add-on. They're not going to shut up about this, are they? I was going to give you a nice little view. So we're about half an hour out from Queenstown with our flat iron. Still nobody's told me what flat iron is. I'd love to know. Just give it a little bit of ruddy because I really don't want to stack it. So when we come out of here, we're going to head through this little valley, and out to the side you should see the conservation park. Now, I've never been here before and I don't know what it looks like, and I'm really ticking off air traffic control by flying way below my assigned height. So our altitude above sea level is actually 4,500, but at altitude above ground it is only 400. Yep. Let me show you actually the direction. So you can check. So this is where we're going. Oh wow, that's pretty. Never been to New Zealand. I think I'd love to go to New Zealand. You can just imagine like all the elves, the wargs. I don't know if they filmed it here, but wow, what a perfect place to film Lord of the Rings. I wonder if New Zealanders are sick and tired of hearing about it. Apparently when you go into the airport, there's like a big Hobbit exhibition. I don't know, but that would be so cool. Check that out. That's amazing. I'm guessing that's some sort of lake. Sorry, river. Yes, I know you want me to exploit my climb. It's so beautiful down here. Now, I will level with you. There is probably a very good chance that while I'm doing this and not really concentrating on where I'm going, at 7,000 feet doesn't really matter. But at 4,000 feet, when the mountains are 7,000 feet, there's a really good chance I could end up on the side of a hill. But that's what makes it entertaining, right? If you can have an entertaining flight simulator. Okay, people live out here. Look, this house is on the side of that hill. Was that a house? No. Part of me thinks how amazing would it be to live here, and then the rest of me just thinks, oh my god, you'll probably never see another living person. Maybe that's not a bad thing. It's easy to see, and it sounds crazy, but how they manage to control their COVID. I mean, most of New Zealand seems to be completely empty. Where are we? Yeah, so this is all conservation area, conservation park. Ahuriri. Ahuriri? Please don't put in the comments I'm massacring that. I guess we're definitely heading downhill, so to speak. I might actually just take a little bit of a detour so we can have a look at the Hunter Valley. So what I'm going to do is head away from where we're meant to be going, just so I can have a look at this lake. So we're going to take a little detour. I'm going to head over this ridge. I say little ridge, but it seems quite like a huge ridge. So whoever you two that are following, thank you so much for following me around. It's not a big stream. I don't get huge numbers, so thank you very much. We're in New Zealand, and we're heading to Queenstown from Cooktown. and we're carrying flat iron. Still nobody in the chat has told me what flat iron is, which we're assuming I'm just carrying a load of metal. But we're going to head over this little, I'll say little ridge to the Hunter Valley, get to Lake Hawaii, and there's also after that, and I really don't want to mispronounce this, is Lake Wanaka. Whew. There, I said it properly. Alright, let's... Okay. I'm just going to come back out. So I'm not checking the chat now, so if anybody's in there, you are on your own. But thank you for watching. I guess, I don't know, it's not the most entertaining of things, but there's something quite relaxing about it, I have to say. And you get to see some of the most beautiful scenery on Earth, right? So we're flying the Pipistrelle. This is one of, I think, one of the extras in the game where you have extra flight. If you pay the pipe for the deluxe version, you get extra planes. I think this is one of them. So as we drop over this ridge, sorry, no, it's on the next one. We're going to head down. Just getting a warning that I'm at 500. We're at half an hour out from Cooktown. I've taken a little deviated tour because I want to have a look at this lake. So as I fly along this ridge line here, where we've crept back up to, no one's moaning anymore that we're below it. We're about 8,000 now. Looking at the pink line at the bottom, if you look on the SkyPark, you can see that the highest point was 7,500. We're way... That little white line is quite interesting because it shows you whether you're descending, whether you're too high or too low. That's pretty cool. I've never noticed that before. So the pink or the magenta area at the bottom is how far you've come on your journey, and in relation to where you are, whether you're going up or down. So we're pretty much flying along the ridge line. But I do want to have a look at this lake, which apparently is quite special. And as we come over this hill, you should see it. There it is. I'm going to lift my head up on the cockpit a little bit. It doesn't give you a lot, does it? But there it is. Wow. And I'm going to head down a little bit, just following the nap of the earth here as we come down. Get a bit lower. I had to rise over above that ridge. But we're going to drop down. You will hear him banging on about expediting the climb because we're supposed to be, the pre-programmed flight path was that we had to be on for 7,000, but okay, that creaky sound is the fuselage complaining. So I'm going to reduce the throttle back down to idle, and I'm going to then follow this valley down to the river, to the lake, and then when we get to the lake we'll have a little look. It's lake, what's that called? We're heading towards the neck, which I would assume is where the two lakes meet. So we're going to have a look at that. The lake, the neck. $11,000? Oh, that's not us, that's somebody else. So you're hearing air traffic control from other aircraft in the area. That wasn't us. Oh God, we're supposed to be 11,000. We're dropping now down. So we're basically above sea level, 3,000, just under 3,000. And our altitude above the ground is just 800. That gives us a nice little buffer. I'm trying to get some nice camera shots for you, but I'm absolutely aware that this is the point where I end up inside of a mountain. A little bit of turbulence as we come down here. Okay, it's telling us we're at 500 or under 500. This is a bit risky to be flying this low, especially in this terrain. But hear you. But I want to go and have a little look. Okay, so we're only about 22 minutes out from Queenstown. And once we've landed there, dropped off the flat iron, we'll be $260 richer. And we've probably gone up a level as well, because it's all done with levels. I'm not quite sure at what point you start getting dodgy deals, because after a certain level you start getting offered jobs that are maybe a little bit shady. Alright, we're on track, which is good, so we're at 100 knots. That's okay, and we're heading down to Lake Harway. Now I wanted to take this little detour, but actually what I've done, if you look at the pink line, we've actually come back into line with our flight path. Oh, I bet this is absolutely beautiful. Alright, let's go and have a little look. Oh, there's a little bunch of houses there. Sorry, flight control. Ooh, wow. So we'll do a little scoot along Lake Harway. Probably massacred that pronunciation. Ah, that's beautiful. Let's look at that for a view. I'm going to skim along the lake and we're going to head towards Albertown. So we're 20 minutes out from our arrival and we've got 44 nautical miles. But look at that. That is beautiful, isn't it? New Zealand, we're in New Zealand. We're heading from Cooktown, NZMC airport designation, down to Queenstown to deliver some flat iron, which nobody has told me what flat iron is yet. Could be drugs. How am I supposed to know? I wasn't even there when they were putting on board. Bob was doing it. Bob oversaw. It's Bob's fault. She oversaw all the loading of the iron. I'll just use that excuse when the New Zealand police catch me at the other end. So that's the neck, and I was talking to you earlier on about the neck. What if you look down there onto the right hand side, that little inlet actually leads on to on the other side of here on the right hand side there's it's called Lake Wanaka, and that's the little inlet there which they call the neck. Is actually they lead into each other, so it's two massive lakes. Let's head over to the side a little bit. But we're back on track. I'm going to try and go over this route. I want to have a look at Albertown. So at the end of here, I'm just going to check the stream, see if anybody's watching. Hello, one person's still here. Alright. There you go, you can see the neck there. There's Bob. Keeping me on the straight and narrow. Okay, let's back down to, let's just drop down to about, we're at 3,000 now. Gonna come down a little bit and check out Albertown. Then we'll head back over the mountains, and then we're about 20 minutes out of Queenstown, which we're gonna drop it down, drop off the iron, and then we're in the stream. We're done. See how much money I get and whether I level up. So for the stream, I'm going to take the sky map. I'm going to make it a bit smaller. There you go. And yeah, so it's a bit smaller, so it's not blocking your view. There's a transponder here in the middle of the lake. Oh, sorry about the camera view. So as we come to the end of Lake Harway, you should see there's a town here called Albertown, just to the right. We got traffic on our left up there. Alright. So I'm guessing Albertown is in this, what do you want to call this little plateau? It's called. Never did get geography. So if you look at the map on the bottom on the SkyPark, where we come into that magenta bit, I'm really going to have to climb up in a minute because we're going to be below that ridge line and I need to get over it. But for now, I'm going to come down low so we get a nice view of Albertown. The most dodgy if you're flying and you're trying to get nice shots for the people watching, the dodgiest angle is this one, because you've got no idea how close you are to the water. It's really weird. This is a nice one, because I can see where I am in relation to the water. So we're at 2,000, basically above sea level, which is pretty high, because we're actually only 750 above the ground. So we're quite high up in relation to the sea level. I bet this lake is freezing. So these people obviously live on close to the lake. This must be Harway itself, like a little community. Doesn't look like there's a huge amount here. But it's quite a nice place to live. Beautiful beaches. Look at that. Oh wow. But it's cold though in the winter. Alright, off to Albertown now. And I think, looking at the map, after Albertown, it's a straight ride in to Queenstown. Might be a couple more lakes we have to go over. I'm going to turn up the chatter so you get a good listen to it. There you go. So what you're hearing is real world chatter. It's pretty cool. So that's Albertown over there. You see it out the window. So Dublin Bay on my right as we head over Wanaka. Or we will be heading over Wanaka, and there'll be Roy's Bay, which we're going to cross right over. Let's take a little detour. It is beautiful. Wow, look at that water. That's interesting. I wonder what that is on the right there. Some sort of agriculture. Alright, so this is Dublin Bay. This is pretty sweet. We'll skirt round to what is basically the town of Wanaka, into Roy's Bay, and then we'll get back on track and head to Queenstown. I need to climb expert over these hills. So I'm going to start getting some height. I'm going to try and tune into Queenstown. Air traffic control. Queenstown approach. Queenstown Tower. Alright, let's get up. Let's get up and over this. I suppose I could actually... No, do you know what? It's going to make it more interesting to go higher. So, looking at the map on the right hand side, we're pretty low. I might have to scout around here to try and get the height to get up and over. So I'm going to skirt around that hill. Look at that pathway going up into the mountains. That's crazy. I'm guessing someone just lives up there. What are we doing? We're doing 80 knots, and we're now at 4,000. The engine's labouring. So doing 90 knots. I'd love to know who made that road and what it does, where it goes to. It must be a walking path, right? Why would you build a road like that? It'd be pointless. It's all over the shop. Wow, look at that. So pretty. This is Glentow Bay. Glentow Bay. So, just gotta check, see if anybody's still watching. Alright, 2 viewers, woohoo! Give us a like or a thumbs up, anything just to let us know you're there. Say something in the chat, just so I know you're around. Daniel LR, thank you. That's awesome. Yeah, please say hi in the chat. And give us a thumbs up. Thank you for the like. Okay, so yeah, so that was Glentow Bay. Beautiful, isn't it? Look at that. That is some place. Look at that. Beautiful. Now I've been told to get up to 6,000, so we're going to climb up another 1,000. So let's have a look at the panel. We are 5,000 feet. This is the flight plan. I'm going to be totally honest with you, I really don't get how any of this works. But I think There is a way you can put it straight onto. Don't know. Doesn't matter. I can see on my map where I am. We're gonna follow this valley down. So we're basically at 5,000. I need to be at 6. What a beautiful spot. Alright, luckily I brought some water with me. So if you're still watching, basically that purple area here at the bottom, I can show you, I can actually make it bigger to show you the peaks. And the highest point is 8,000, that's the highest point I'm going to. You can see that I'm actually, if I keep going the way I'm going to go, you can see my plane in relation to the highest peak. And it's not actually the highest peak that we hit earlier on was right at the beginning. So there's one more high peak before we head down into Queenstown. But I wanted to get up nice and high so you could get a beautiful view of this rugged New Zealand locale. That was the Watatapu River. That's what that is that you're looking at behind me. So I've got live traffic switch on. It's called FSATC. Just it's pretty good actually because it finds local air traffic control and automatically plays it depending on where you are in the simulator. I'm going to drop down because I think it'd be pretty sweet to go a bit lower. You're going to hear ATC and they're going to be really annoyed that I'm exploiting down, but I'm going to keep an eye. There you go, you can hear them. I'm going to drop down to maybe 2,000 and exploit up again when I need to go over that mountain, but I reckon it'd be quite sweet looking around and at this scenery. That is stunning. Look at that. As you can see from the map on the right hand side, SkyPark, it's getting closer now. We're about 10 minutes out, just under 10 minutes to Queenstown. We're going to drop off our iron. So we've been allocated a little task. SkyPark, if you've just joined us, SkyPark is an add-on that you can get jobs and stuff. So when you get your job, you can deliver things to different places. Some things just like sewing machines and stupid stuff like that, or a bit later on, nefarious goods. I don't need to tell you what they are. So we're doing this job from Cooktown, north of here, down to Queenstown, and we're going to get $260, and then we'll see how many points I get for doing it, and then you get leveled up. And I think later on you can actually buy things with the points. At the moment it's in almost like a semi-beta phase where they're just trying stuff out, but eventually the money that you make on these runs, you will be able to buy things. I'm just trying to work out what might be the best way, because we're going to be heading over a place called Town. I think that's pretty high up. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to exploit up. So I'm just going to make sure I'm not, I'm climbing enough that I can actually get over this hill. So once we get to Queenstown or close to Queenstown, it should kick in air traffic control. You should actually hear Queenstown air traffic control. Look, it's all recorded. It's not live. That would be cool, wouldn't it? Live traffic. But as no one's really doing anything, I don't suppose you're going to get much live traffic. So I'm going to head over here. We're not far off now. We're about 8 minutes away. Queenstown. We're going to head over Coronet Peak down to Arthur's Point, and then drop into Queenstown itself. I'll work out where the airport is in Queenstown. I'll work it out in a minute. Okay, time to drop back down again. 6 minutes out. 13 nautical miles to go. Gonna drop down. That's again, you can hear the engine, the airframe. Very upset that we're doing 140 knots. But I want to come down and have a look at the scenery. I'm going to do a little bit of flying. Guy sounds Irish. A lot of turbulence in this valley. I guess that's to be expected. Air traffic control once again telling us to get up because we are extremely low. What I might do is get over this ridge, drop down the other side and come down what I think looks like is Lake Wakatipu. So I'm going to come in towards runway 23. But I need to get up a little bit, up and over. This is Macetown. I'll just come over. So if you just joined us, we're in New Zealand, heading down to Queenstown. And you might be wondering why I'm not heading towards that, but what I'm going to do is I'll zoom in so you can see what I'm trying to do. Because I'm going to come down and come out by Queenstown Hill and head down to Queenstown that way. So I'm just taking a little bit of a detour. We're going to come down this valley into a place called Arrowtown, Coronet Peak on our right, and then follow that valley down into Queenstown. So about 4 minutes out, 9 miles. And air traffic control is still telling me to get back up again, but you know what? There's not a lot of traffic, so I'm going to ignore them. Oh no, you shouldn't do that. That's a terrible thing to do. But as you can see here, if I come down to here, we've hit our highest point now. It's downhill all the way. So we've dropped from, we're now down 2,500 feet above sea level. And now we should approach Arrowtown, which could be behind that ridge actually. Oh, there's supposed to be a little town here in this little valley. Oh, here it is on the side of this hill. Cool. Alright, so we're coming out now at Arrowtown. It'll flatten out a little bit. This is Queenstown Hill. And then we're going to head down straight into Queenstown. You can see now we're lined back up with the flight path. And I'm very low. Look at that hill. Wow. Let's do a little flip around. So this is Arrowtown. Wow. What a stunning place, seriously. I'm going to have to go. I think we can go, like for Aussies and New Zealanders, they're going to open it up soon so you can just go. It looks incredible. What a beautiful place. Okay, so this is Lake Hayes. It's not a very big lake. And what I'm going to try and do is we're also going to come across is Frankton Airport, which I'm going to bypass. But as we come over the lake, you'll see the airport. I don't think that's. Do you know what? I think that might well be it. Maybe that is the airport, and I've got it wrong. No, it can't be. I'm going to land there anyway, so I'm going to try it. Okay, let's do this. So I'll come over Lake Hayes. And you'll see Lake Hayes Estate. I'm sure it's not called Frankton. It's not. But at least I don't think. Maybe it is. Maybe that is the airport. Frankton Airport is Queenstown's airport. Anyway, alright, let's land there and just check. Because once you land there, you get the message saying you can deliver your stuff. Actually, do you know what? It is nothing like being prepared, hey? So, this is Lake Hayes Estate. We're going to start to reduce the speed, put the flaps down. Can't see the... Oh, there it is. Alright, sweet, we're home. So, let's line up. Turn back to the let's go, hang on a sec. There we go. Oh, don't blow up now. Okay, yeah, this is it. We're coming into Queenstown. So I'm going to try and get the airspeed down to about 80, just drifted in. Welcome to Queenstown, everybody. Wow, what a beautiful airport. Okay, I'm gonna have to visit here. This looks stunning. Alright, we've got our irons and we're gonna drop them off. See what happens, and then we're gonna end the stream. So thank you for coming with us for this flight. I'm not the world's greatest at landing, but this thing's pretty forgiving. Don't crash now, simulator, come on. Big airport. Alright, we're down. Now we should get a message saying, do you want to drop off your stuff? Here we go, welcome to Queenstown. Alright, we're gonna... Let's have a little look. Let's come off here. Oh, very nicely, they've showed us the way. So I'm going to come off, I'm going to deliver the flat irons. Good to go, and we've finished. Okay, I'm going to deliver them here. Nice. Alright, so we taxied back into Queenstown. That was completed. We didn't go up a level, but we did get some money. So I'm hoping that the next one will be the one that takes us to the next level. So I'm not quite sure we'll go. My karma went up as well, so obviously people wanted flat irons. And as soon as I leave this stream, I'm going to go and find out what flat irons are. Great job though, but thank you very much, SkyPark. So we're going to do it properly. We're going to park up here at Queenstown. I'm telling you, it's pretty good. Oh, I got lost there. The taxiway shows you which way to go, which is pretty good. We're going to do it properly. We're going to come off, obviously, building somewhere here. Still under construction. Seriously though, have a word. Look at the scenery. pretty amazing. I'm going to close off the SkyPark. So we'll finish with that now. We're going to park up here next to this big old boy. What airplane is this? Let's go and have a little look. Wow, this is a long taxiway. Polish Airlines. I wonder where that's going. Alright, so we're going to just park it up here. Oh, they're 10 minutes to go here, all the little planes. This is a cool airport, hey? I think this is one of those ones that's modelled like a proper model one. Alright, so we're done. We're going to come in here and we're going to park it up properly next to this expensive Learjet. There's the boys. Now, are they going to wave us in? Sometimes they wave you in. That clicking sound you can hear is my brake. Here we go. No waving. It's just going to be a straight full stop. Oh no, here we go. He's listening to his radio. Really don't want to run into him. Alright, sweet, there we go. That was SkyPark. We've done that little jaunt down from Bankstown to Queenstown. And all that is left is to switch off everything. There you go. Alright, thank you for watching and I hope you enjoyed it. See some beautiful scenery. And see you soon.